would you like to make more money than any high-tech worker? Actually, not any high-tech worker, but the average high-tech worker. You can make more money than any of those people, you know, and do it without an education or without background training and special skills. And here's the kicker, plus your boss will help you get a brand new car. That's right. They'll help you get a car, right? And this is happening now in the ride-sharing industry. You know, okay, now people used to drive taxi cabs, and they still do. Now, the average taxi cab driver now makes about 30 grand a year. That's it, you know. So it was a job that people got when they couldn't get anything else because it wasn't safe, you know. You're worried about getting paid by your customers. You're worried about safety, you know, who you're picking up on the street and things like that. Well, now there's a sexy way to do all that thing. And you know, this stuff is called ride sourcing. And one of the bigger companies is Uber. And they're just taking over the world on this. And people who work for them are making like $90,000 a year. The average in some cities are like $75,000 to $90,000 working a 40-hour week. You know, it's incredible. It's changed the whole game. You know, people are making that and even doing that part-time. So it's a great little part-time job. And then plus you get financing for a brand new car. Because see, you have to have you can't have too old of a car. So where they have needs, see, they have these financing programs up there in the cities that they have, you know, they're really hurting for people because this is a growth industry. It's really taking off. And there's about I forget now, it's like about 22 cities, you know, that they'll finance your car in. They're in about 140 cities. They're all over. And there's 2 other companies that do basically the same thing. So they're around too, and they're called Side.cr, and the other one is Lyft.com. But here's what people like Uber will give you. Okay, the drivers get, you know, $75,000 to $90,000, you know, in some of these big cities, and you can work full-time or part-time, making more than a high-tech worker. And here's the other thing. All your passengers are already registered by the company. So they have to fill out a form and an application and a credit card and everything beforehand. And then see, you have an iPhone or a phone, and they help you get one of those if you don't have one. And so you see where a ride is going. Okay, this guy needs somebody, well, do I want to do it or not? So you decide. See, and the company already has their credit card, so you don't have to worry about getting paid because they send you the fare with a check, I mean with a tip and everything in it. So you decide how much you want to work, when you want to work, you want to take this ride and things like that. And see, the thing is, for the customer, it's cheaper than a taxi most of the time. See, and it's more convenient. So that's why these companies are growing, you know, and it's incredible. And actually, for the new cars, I mean, they arrange financing, they get bigger deals because, see, just think, if you're making $90,000 with your car, anybody's going to give you money. Like one of the people who were working with Uber on this thing, they had 300 applications and they only refused 2. You know, and I was reading a story about a guy, an immigrant from Mali, Africa. You know, he was working a regular taxi. He said, "Ah, no, I did this," and he was able to get, you know, a brand new Toyota Camry. You know, and make a heck of a lot more money doing this kind of thing. And as I say, this is a growth industry. People are doing it, particularly in urban areas or not urban areas. It's booming all over the world. You know, and there was a big study at the University of California why people are using these things and not the traditional sources. You know, and it's really because of things that, number one reason, ease of payment. See, it's easy. You get in a cab, you go, and you have to figure out the money. But when you get an Uber, so you put on your iPhone, you know, it's all on the web, you know, and the driver knows about it, and it goes to his account, the money goes in his account, and it's all that they drop them off. That's it. And it's a short wait because there's people all over the city, you know, just waiting around. You can be at home waiting, hey, that's a ride, I'll take that. And you go and do it and things like that. And of course the drinking thing, and that's why people use this and things like that. But here's, I mean, to me, one of the interesting things about this kind of company, I think, is that this is where our country's going. I mean, this is a huge company now. I mean, they say that this is worth $17 billion. That's the value of this. They have investors in this company and everything because it's growing so much. They think it'll even be like $200 billion, you know, in the near future. This is how companies like that. See, and the old companies are going away. They're not You know, this is an old thing. I mean, just think an old company, a cab company, they had to buy cars, you know, they had to have all these employees to fool around with and everything like that. This company has just a website. That's it. You know, that's it. It doesn't own any cars, doesn't have any employees. Well, it has a few right on the website and things like that. And it's now worth $17 billion. Now, that's the value of Hertz and Avis together. So this one company that is basically a website is now as big as Hertz and Avis together. I mean, that's where we're going. But see, now there's an opportunity for entrepreneurs really to be drivers making decent money, $90,000 a year. So it's not like the old business. I had a friend in college, you know, he was a philosophy, getting his PhD. He used to drive cab in New York City while he was getting his PhD. Man, you know, he was scared as hell driving around New York City as a cab. So he would just go up and down one street. Here, you don't have to have that worry. And you're making 3 times the money, you know. That's what's interesting. So it's a whole new world out there. You know, if you're not taking advantage of the new stuff, you're getting left behind and scrambling for the crumbs of the old economy. So get in there for the new economy.